Hey everybody, my name is Alvin. Welcome back to my channel. Today's plant problem is moss poles. Specifically, what I'm talking about is sphagnum moss wrapped up in a chicken wire and held up in a pole so your plants can climb them. In the past, what I've tried is the moss poles that you can buy off of Amazon. Those, they're okay, they're really hard to water. So instead of giving myself the same problem again with sphagnum moss pole that I built for myself, I actually decided to build a self-watering one. So today we're going to talk about self-watering moss poles. It's basically the same thing as any other moss pole, just sphagnum moss wrapped in a chicken wire, but this specific one is going to have a pole down the middle of it, a PVC pipe that holds the water, a wick that wicks from the bottom of the PVC pipe all the way to the top and back around the pole. That wick is going to pull the water up from the bottom of the pole and bring it back down into the sphagnum moss. So with that, let's get started. The materials you'll need for your self-watering moss pole. First, we have our sphagnum moss. The sphagnum moss is going to come in a brick form like this. It's going to be pretty dense and compact, so you're definitely going to want to get it wet to kind of tease it out. Once you get it wet, you want to make sure that it's not too wet by just squeezing it, so you'll give it a squeeze and any water that comes out is great. Let that water come out and get it nice and fluffy. Small wire ties, cotton wick, scissors, chicken wire, PVC pipe. Make sure your PVC pipe has a top on it. So get the top, get the PVC pipe. And something to put underneath it. This is a potting tarp. What to do with your chicken wire? So first we'll start out with our chicken wire. The chicken wire itself is made of plastic and you can cut it with your scissors. Make sure you clean up the edge first, so go ahead and cut anything extra that's hanging off there. And we're going to measure about 4 inches and cut at 4 inches. I'm just going to follow the line here and make sure that I don't diverge from the line. Next, I'm going to take my wick and I'm going to wick my PVC pipe. What I'm going to do is I'm going to measure from the bottom to the top and all the way back to the bottom. From there, I'm going to add on about another 8 inches, maybe 10 inches. Take the wick, tie it off. You want to tie off the ends of these cotton wicks so they don't fray. And I'm going to stick the wick all the way down the inside of the pipe. Eventually, you're going to drop the wick far enough down the pipe that it's going to stop. When it stops, go ahead and hold your wick there, right in place. Grab your wire tie. Wire tying your wick in place right here is just going to help it stay. I'm going to cut off the end here, save that for later. From here, now I'm just going to evenly wrap the pole. So I'm holding the wick taut and I'm going to wrap the pole. I want to make sure that my pole doesn't, or my wick doesn't go past the end of the pole here. It doesn't. Let's see that. Oops. The wick ends here. I'll take a wire tie and hold this wick in place on here. Holding the wick at the bottom is going to be important just as well as holding it at the top. And I'll go ahead and cut this as well. Next, we're going to lay our sphagnum moss. The sphagnum moss is already damp and it's nice and fluffy because I worked it out. I'm going to go ahead and fill my pole with a very healthy helping of sphagnum moss. What I've noticed is it's kind of nice to have probably more than what you think you might use, just in case. I'm going to dig a little trench down here in the middle of it, because that's where the pipe is going to sit. I'll take some sphagnum moss from the side here, and I'm just going to fill up the bottom. And the pole is going to fit right here. Next, we're going to close up our sphagnum moss pole. So what that means is we're going to take our zip ties, start at the top. Make sure your pole is right at the edge of your chicken wire. If it's not, then your moss is going to either get inside of it or your pole is going to pop up through the top of it, and it's just not going to look as great. But go ahead and get your zip tie through the first hole on either side. That's the one closest to the edge on both sides. And zip tie that nice and tight. Take your next zip tie, count 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So on the fourth hole, you're going to put another zip tie. Now, depending on the size of your chicken wire and how it's structurally held together, you might need to change the number. But what I've noticed for this chicken wire that I'm using, that I'll have linked in the description, it's good for every 4 zip ties. So I'll go ahead and do that all the way through. So right at the end here, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's just the last one here. So I'm going to go ahead, not do it on the fourth one, and just do it on the last one. You definitely want to zip tie the last one. So if you need to round down, then cool. The last step here with our sphagnum moss pole building is going to be the cleanup. So for cleanup, what you want to do is you want to make sure that all your zip ties are tight. So go ahead and tighten all of them. You want to pull them left and right, or right and left. Either way, you're going to hear it click if you pull on them and they're loose at all. Then you're going to take your scissors and go ahead and cut off all of the excess plastic so it's not hanging out. If you don't cut it off, it's probably just going to get in the way of your plants, and it's just not going to look as nice. Make sure you hold on to all of the extra plastic so you can take it and recycle it later. After you've cut them all, what you want to do is you want to take your thumbs and your index finger and go ahead and peel any sphagnum moss that's hanging out through the line that we just made. After you've peeled all of that, you're going to stand your sphagnum moss pole up and you're going to give it a little rub. Anything that you rub out of it right now is just good to rub out. If you don't take it out now, then it's probably just going to fall out later and make a mess all over your floor, wherever your plants are, or get into the plant pot. It's not necessarily a problem for sphagnum moss to be in your plant pot, especially if your plant is the type that needs a sphagnum moss pole, but it mostly just makes a mess, so we'll clean that up. And like that, we're done building our sphagnum moss pole. staking your plant. Alright, so for this part of the video, my audio was just absolutely terrible, so I decided to re-record it. What we're looking at here is a Scindapsus argyrius that I've been growing for about 8 months now. This is what it looks like after you stick 3 plants in the same pot for 8 months and let them grow. What I've got them mounted to right now is the Coco Coir pole from Amazon. These are really popular. You can definitely use them. I did for a while. If you look at the bottom though, when you pull it out, it's completely black. I know that's probably some soil, but that's also probably a little bit of rot. So better to get it out. What I'm doing here is I'm digging into the pot and I'm just making sure the hole that was there is now filled. This moss pole that I'm using here is a little bit modified from the one that I showed building earlier, and it has nails in it instead of longer PVC pipe. After that, basically just gonna unravel the plant and kind of try to make it happy along the pole. What I'll do is, at first, the first couple times I tried doing this, I actually wrapped the plant around the pole. What I noticed was if I have enough plants in the pot, then actually just bringing them straight up the pole is a lot more healthy for them than it is to wrap them around it. So here's about where I decide that I've got enough plant in my hand here that I need a little bit of an assist from some Velcro. This is just some standard horticultural Velcro. I know that other Velcros are kind of the same sometimes, but this is the one that came with the original moss poles, so I decided to use it. I'm going to attach the first Velcro here, and then I'm going to continue bringing more plant up the pole. Another Velcro. So I basically make these decisions with the plants, trying not to get them to cover each other and not wrap around each other too much, trying to give the leaves some space to get some sun, get some light. If your leaves end up covering your other leaves, then they're going to turn yellow, like the one on the bottom right there. You'll see it's yellow. And eventually you get your plant completely situated onto the pole. Now, there are a couple reasons why you might want to do this. One, maybe space saving. Maybe you already have too many plants at home. You've already got a plant problem and you need your plants to get bigger, but you just don't have that much space. So you stick them up on a pole. 2, maybe you just like the look. I personally really like the look of these things because they kind of have this really nice blend between modern and natural that I haven't quite been able to capture in any other way. And 3, probably the most important thing about having a moss pole and why you should choose to have one is because they help your plants out. Aeroids have aerial roots for a reason. What they do with these aerial roots is they kind of climb along the floor. They shoot these aerial roots out, trying to find something to grip onto. Once they have something to grip onto, they're going to grow into that with the roots, and that's going to trigger a chemical reaction that causes the plant to grow higher, to grow against gravity. As they continue to grow higher, their leaves will get bigger, and some of them will even fenestrate. The last thing you're going to do is you're going to take your watering can, check, and fill it with water. My final thoughts on self-watering moss poles. Alright, so that just about does it for our sphagnum moss pole tutorial. All I've got left to share is the Rhaphidophora over here on my left. You might have noticed that it has strings holding up the pole. So what I've noticed is this short amount of stick here, right, that goes into the pot is not enough to hold up all of the weight. So instead of watching the thing fall over all the time, what I decided to do was I've got strings tied to the top, all the way back down to the bottom of the pot. This string wraps around the bottom and goes all the way back up to the top. These strings are tied tight, so it holds the pole in place on this vertice. Then I've also got shorter strings down here just for a little bit more support that hold here and here. And this is one string. It goes from here all the way around down to the bottom and back up to the top. So with that, I've found quite a bit better stability here that's going to hold better, and I quite like it actually. It looks a little bit different from your other standard moss poles that are going to hold up on their own, but I kind of like it. So with that, thank you so much for tuning in, watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you've got a chance to, and I hope that this tutorial helps you out with your plant problem. Bye.